In this lecture, we will study the standing wave ratios. I have introduced the standing waves in the last lecture for the special cases where we were discussing about the reflection and refraction. And the special case was taken to be the medium one was perfect dielectric and medium two was perfect conductor. So in that case, we have analyzed what is standing waves, what is mean by standing waves, and what is the reflection coefficient in that for different reflection coefficient, what is the standing wave. So here we will take more general cases for the standing waves for different mediums, and we will also quantify the standing waves in terms of their standing wave ratios, which are very important, and they are practically used. These ratios are practically used to identify uh, to match two medium. For example, you have a transmission line, and the transmission line is need to be matched with the load so that losses in the reflection should be less. So the sending wave pattern will give you an idea how much these two are matched. If they are perfectly matched, there will be no transmission back, and there will be no standing waves. So using this standing wave concept, generally the two loads are matched or two mediums are matched in the industries also. So this is very important concept, the standing waves and their ratios. So again, we will take here assumptions that medium one is perfect dielectric and medium two is any material. It is in general in any one. So for perfect dielectric, the conductivity is zero, and uh, this the attenuation is will be also be zero, attenuation factor. So here we assume that alpha 1 is 0 and the conductivity is 0, is perfectly dielectric. So what we have, the wave is incident on this interface where we have two medium with eta 1 and eta 2. So for this material, this one medium 1, this is the medium 1 and this is medium 2. So it will have eta 1 will be real and eta 2 will be any value which is complex due to the conductivity. So eta 1 will be real and eta 2 will be most one. So now the gamma, this the reflection coefficient is given by, as we have seen the last one, that eta 2 minus eta 1 over eta 2 plus eta 1. And as these, in general, these two are complex quantity, so gamma is also complex. Here we have taken this eta 1 to be real quantity, but eta 2 is any medium, so it may be a complex. So overall, the gamma may be complex still here. So it will have again the magnitude and the phase. It will have certain magnitude and the phase is phi we will consider. Now in the medium one, as a wave is incident on this interface, some portion will be reflected and some portion will be transmitted to the medium two. So the total electric field will be given by in this medium one is incident plus the reflected part. And here we are dealing with the phasor form again. So the incident wave will be E I naught plus e to minus gamma z, gamma 1 z. Gamma 1 is the propagation constant, the medium one, and it will be equals to only the j beta 1 here because alpha 1 is 0, and the reflected wave is moving in the negative z direction. So it will be again you have the gamma 1 will be remain same for both incident part and the reflected part. So it will be j beta 1. So you have, so total electric field in the medium one will be given by this factor. If you add this one, e to the minus j beta 1 z, it will be to the power j beta 1 z. So the ERO over EI naught is given by the reflection coefficient gamma. So ERO is equals to gamma times EI naught, and you can take it out from here. So this is the expression EIS or EIS. If you break up gamma in terms of magnitude and phase, so this will become EI naught e for minus j beta 1 z plus magnitude of gamma multiply for j beta 1 z plus phi. So this will be phi will be added. So this part phi will be added. This is multiplied. So here you will get this term. So the total electric field in the phasor form will be given by this expression in the medium one in general. And when you take its the time form, that is the instantaneous total electric field, you will find that this is the expression here for the total electric field in the for the time variation also. Now the standing wave ratio SWR is denoted by as defined by here the magnitude of the maximum value of this total electric field divided the magnitude of the minimum value of the electric field. So E1 maximum, E1 minimum, that is the magnitude. So here this is the expression. So first of all, we need to find the what is the magnitude of the maximum value. We find the magnitude and then we find the what is the maximum value. Similarly, we will find the magnitude and find the what is the minimum value of this magnitude. And these two ratio will give you the standing wave ratio. Similarly, or we can find the H1 maximum over H1 minimum. Now H1 maximum will be maximum when these two are in the same phase. Then this will be the same phase, they will be added here. So if they will be out of phase, then some part will be, for example, if different phase, so it will be, when you take the real part, you will have some cos of this and you will, which quantity is less than 1. So it will be only maximum when this value, these are in the same phase and you can take it out there and their magnitude will be remain same. If you take any quantity Jx, magnitude of this one, so this magnitude of this quantity will always be 1. So if they are in the same phase and you can take it out, the magnitude will be remain 1 and multiplied by 1 plus gamma. So maximum will be equals to EI naught plus 1 plus gamma. And this will occur, the maximum will occur when these two are in the same phase. Means that either they will be equals or they will, this phase should be equals to this one plus some 2m pi. So here this maximum will occur when you have this condition beta 1 minus beta 1 z, you have all those minus beta 1 z and j beta 1 z plus phi either equals plus 2m plus phi. So if they are equal or and you add this quantity, this still be, you will have the same maximum value will be there. So in general we can write beta 1 z minus beta 1 z equals to beta 1 z plus phi plus 2m pi, where m is any integer. So because this z will give you the maximum value, so we call this point, which is a solution of this equation, will be the maximum, the z at which the E1 is maximum, magnitude is maximum. So we call this parameter z maximum, which just comes out to be minus 2 beta 1 over into phi plus 2m pi. Or in term of lambda, beta 1 is 2 pi over lambda, you replace with the lambda, you will get the z maximum is equals to this one. So this is a 1. So this will be the maximum quantity occurring at these value of the z. This is negative because we are seeing in the, we have medium 1, this is medium 1 and this is medium 2 and we have a z axis in this direction. So this is z equals to 0. So always that we will add up here in this, we are moving in this region. So always z will be negative here. So why we are saying the negative here. Now similarly the minimum will be there when you have, this will be out of phase by 180 degree. So when will be a 180 degree phase shift, then it will be subtracted here, these two. So the minimum value comes out to be EI naught 1 minus gamma, magnitude of gamma. And this will occur when these two will be out of phase by pi plus some here. So this is minus beta 1 z equals to beta 1 z plus phi plus pi. So you can have this one by out of phase by pi plus, if you add some 2m pi, it will also give you the same condition, they will be out of phase. So in general then this z minimum is comes out to be here, this is the, so the E1 as minimum will given by this expression where it will occurs at this locations, at this point in the space, that minimum. So the standing ratios S is given by when you divide this over this one. So these two will be cancelled out. You will have E1 plus gamma over 1 minus gamma. So this is the standing wave ratio 1 plus gamma. So now we are taking the magnitude of the gamma. That's why these are S will be always be real. 1 plus real quantity over 1 minus real quantity. And magnitude of gamma can be obtained using rearrange one, you can find that this will be S minus 1 over S1. So these are the two expressions. So if you know the gamma reflection coefficient, using the magnitude of that, you can find the standing wave ratios. And if you know the standing wave ratios, you can find the magnitude of that reflection coefficient. But you will not be able to find the complete gamma here. We need to know the phi to know the complete value of gamma. So we can find the magnitude using the standing wave ratios. This is how the expression. Now, as gamma is always less, magnitude is always less than 1, it is lying from 0 to 1. So when you gamma is 0, then it will be 1. When gamma is 1, the magnitude of gamma is 1, so it will be infinite. The value of S will range from 1 to infinity. So if standing wave ratio is 1, it means the reflection coefficient is 0. It means there is no reflection. And if the reflection coefficient is 1, that is the whole wave is reflected back. If you have this one, if the wave is fully reflected, then you will have the standing waves to be infinite. If no wave is reflected, all the wave is passed to the another medium, then the standing wave ratios will be 1. In this case, the reflection coefficient will be 0. So gamma equals to 1, no reflection, only the refraction will be there. Gamma equals to 1 milli, there will be a reflection and there will be no transmitted wave in the other medium, there only reflection. And S equals to infinity. If gamma equals to 0, that is there is no reflection, but only there is a refraction, that is they are moving in the another medium, then S equals to 1. So this is how you can find this one. Now, if special cases, case 1, you have N1 and N2 are real, that the both are perfect dielectric. What we have considered, assume in previously that 1 is perfect dielectric, medium 2 is any medium. But now medium 2 is also a perfect dielectric. Then we have to also define that whether which one is greater, N2 or N1. So let's take one case where N2 is greater than N1. So now the gamma will be real because both are real. Gamma will be real and phi equals 0. Phase will be 0. This phi will be 0. So for this case, when you find Z maximum and Z minimum, so you will get the Z maximum minus alpha 1. We have seen that there you have Z maximum is depending upon the phi. So phi is 0. This will be multiply. So lambda 1 into m over 2. You can find here. So what you're getting, the maximum will occur at this location, multiple of lambda by 2. What I have told you earlier in the previous class, that the Z maximum will occur at lambda 1 by multiple of lambda by 2. It means m equals to 0, you will have the maxima, that is the electric field will be added there, maximum value will be there, and m equals to, then if you take 1, then minus lambda by 2, then you have minus lambda, then 3 lambda by 2, then you will get the maximum. Similarly, the minima will occur, will occur at this point. So here it will be m equals to 0, it will be m plus minus 1, you can find this, m equals to 0, it will be lambda minus lambda by 4. So here we can write clearly that maxima occurs at Z equals to 0, minus lambda by 2, minus lambda, minus 3 lambda, minimum will occur. So we have seen the previous cases when you have standing waves. So we were having the standing waves like this. So we have this is how you can have. So previously we have shown that here the maximum value is occurring at this point. Now in this case comes out to be that maxima is occurring. So this is, for this case, this is not the case. What we have in this case, when eta 2 is here greater than eta 1, then it will be a maximum here, and it will be some sort of, this envelope will be some sort of the envelope will look like wave is traveling. So maximum will occur here at this point at 0. Then this will be the lambda by 2, and this will be the minus lambda, and so on. And minima will occur at lambda minus lambda by 4. And you can remember easily that when eta is greater than eta 1, then gamma is real, and gamma is real. In that case, there will be phi will be 0, and it is gamma is 1, and you will get that the electric field and the boundaries will have the same value. They will be in the same way. When you add, you will get not 0, but you will have a maximum value. So you can have a maxima there. The spacing between maxima is lambda 1 by 2. Similarly, spacing between minima is also lambda. The spacing between maxima and minima is same, that is lambda by 2, and they are occurring at the same region. Now, in second case, if eta 2 is less than eta 1, both will be real, but now tau is real and negative. Phi is pi. So the electric field at the boundaries will be at the interface will be out of phase. What we have seen in the previous case, so negative tau. So j pi. So in this case, the electric field will be reflected. The electric field is reflected, but it will be out of phase by pi. So in that case, if they are equal, for example, the gamma is minus 1. In this case, they will cancel out exactly, and now the minima will occur at z equals to 0. So you can see here again, z maximum equals to minus lambda 1 over 4 pi, and you can add the phase is pi. Pi plus 2m pi will be 2m plus. So z minimum equals to minus. Now location of z minima and z maximum here are reverse. So previously where you are getting the z maximum, now you are getting the z minimum, and where you were getting the z minimum, now you are getting the z maximum. So maximum will occur z is equals to minus lambda 1 by 4, minus 3 lambda 1 by 4, and so on. And minima will occur at z equals to 0 lambda by 2. Still the spacing remains same, you have lambda by 2. So in this case, what you are getting, now the minima will occur at z equals to 0. So wave will look like, envelope will look like here in this case, this one. So here you have the 0. So it can be understood that the gamma is the phase is pi. So the electric field at these boundaries will be out of phase, and they will be subtracted to give you the minima values. Or if they are minus 1, gamma is minus 1, it will be give you 0. So you can remember by this factor that at the boundaries, if gamma is real and negative, then they will be subtracted, you will get the minima. If at this boundary, if gamma is real and positive, the electric field vectors will be in the same phase, they will be added, and they will give the maximum value. Then you can easily find it. The minima will occur at 0, minus lambda by 2, then minus lambda, and so on. The spacing between maximum minima is lambda by 2. For gamma is real and positive, maxima occurs at interface z equals to 0. For gamma is real and negative, minima occurs in the interface at the interface. The maxima minima of eta 2 is less than eta 1 occurs at the position where minima occurs for maximum, that is position interchange. So these minima and maxima interchange when E2 and eta 1 are, if this is changed, order is changed. If eta 2 is more than eta 1, and the second case eta 2 is less than eta 1. Similarly, H1 minima occurs whenever there is H1 maxima. So you can verify that the H1 minimum will occur at the location where you have the H1 maximum. The transmitted wave is medium 2 is purely traveling wave, and consequently there are no maxima or no minima. So when the wave is traveling incident on the here, some portion will be reflected and some portion will be transmitted. So because here we have a two part, incident and reflected, so the standing wave occurs only in this region 1. And region 2 only you have a one propagating wave. So there is no concept of standing wave in the second medium if the wave is traveling through the medium 1 and passing to the medium 2. So only we can use the standing wave ratios in the medium 1. That is mean by this quantity. So here let me show some animations if I have. So before seeing the animations, so let me see what is the total electric field. We understand this total electric field more deeply, so we can visualize the standing waves for this case. So what we have seen that the total electric field in the medium 1 is given by this expression. When you take instantaneous electric field, this will be given here. So what you see here again, we have this part, this equation, this part of this equation seems to be propagating wave. So because you have omega t minus beta 1 z, so this portion is a moving wave in positive z direction. So this part is a wave which is moving in the positive direction, whereas this part is the standing portion. Here you have no argument such omega t minus beta 1 z something. So this is beta 1 z plus 5 by 2. So once 5 medium is fixed, 5 is also fixed. So this will be cos beta 1 z. So this is a variation of electric field in the space, and this is how when you see in a different time it will be just a factor which will be multiplied. So again this will be a standing waves. So what we have, it is we have two parts. One is the which is moving in particular z direction, over which the standing wave is superimposed. So you have some moving wave in z direction, and due to the reflection of the electric field, some portion will be standing wave. If they are exactly cancel out, if for example gamma is equals to 1 or minus 1, then this portion will be 0, and there is no moving part, only you have the standing wave, which we have considered in the previous lecture. Now in there in general, because gamma it may be like from 0 to 1. So in this case we have general some portion is moving and some portion is a standing waves here. So to show that, here we have some animation. So this is how it will look like. So the standing ratio is given by this factor, and let the gamma, here they have taken the magnitude to be 0.33. Now they have taken to be again real, that n1 is 1 and 2 is so because gamma is not exactly 1, so some portion will be reflected and some portion will be transmitted. However, it will have a standing wave ratio. So this is a lead standing waves, and this wave is reflected back. Now because R is 0.33, so this is not exactly, the magnitude is not exactly same as incident wave, but it will be reduced. So this factor is reduced. This is because they are not exactly same. So you have the waves, the resultant wave is also look like to be moving, but now it's also making a standing pattern. So you have here the standing patterns are there in this case. This is how it's look like the standing wave ratios for particular this case. Okay, the one that exactly R is minus 1 or 0.1 we have seen in the earlier one, so it will look like so standing in this case. So you can go through this. So this is how we can find the standing wave ratios. Now you have this questions to understand the concept. Here we have taken you have some wave is moving where hi is given here, so it is moving in the z direction, and the component of hi is ai. Incident normally on a lossless medium, so we have a lossless medium, eta 2 is lossless, so it will be real also, and it is medium 1 is a free space, so both are real and both are lossless mediums. So determine the reflected wave HR, ER, and the transmitted wave HT, ET. Also find the location of minima and maxima. So just you kind of find the free space. It is a free space. So beta 1 is given by x here 1 over 3, and eta 1 eta naught is 120 pi in this case. So eta 1 is equals to eta naught with free space 125. Medium 2, eta 2 is real, and you can find using the given values. Using these values, you can find the eta 2. So it is eta 2 is here 245, beta 2 you can find for 4 by 3. So the EI is expected to be this expression, EI naught cos to this one, EI. You can find the EI just taking this here. You know that the direction of propagation, you can find following expression, so you can find EI. So EI direction comes up to AY. Then EI naught, eta naught H1, you can find this will be equal, so you can find the incident electric field. Now gamma is given by n2 by n1, here is 1 by 0. So it is positive, it is real, so phase is 0. So ERO will be given by gamma EI1, and direction of AKR is negative of AKI. So ER will be, here you have plus, due to this factor you have this will become plus, and here ERO will be 10 by 3 over n naught minus 1 here. Previously it was for EI equal minus y, so minus will remain there. You have the minus y. So minus 5 incident and the reflected wall will have the same one. For the magnetic component, you have HRO eta 1 equal to cost for 8t plus 1 over 3z1, and you can find the HR from here again. Once you know the ER and KR, you can find the HR, that is minus X. The same way you can find, so here is a positive, reflected wave will be have the positive values. Similarly, you will have this eta t equals to eta t naught cos 10 to or 8t, this one, and you can find all those things by using these expressions. So finally, what we are getting, these are the values of the electric and magnetic fields in medium 1 and medium 2. Now to find the maximum occurs, the gamma is real positive, so phi is 0, and tau is, this gamma is real. So alpha 1 you find here using the expression, the maximum will occur z equals to 0 here. So you can find lambda 1 from here, you can find these value locations, and minima will occur at these locations, so you can find those values. So this is how, this is a concept to understand the this standing waves and the minimum maxima. You can also find the standing ratios. Once you know the gamma, you can find the standing wave ratios. Similarly, there is another example. You can go through this and you can try to understand first. Here they have asked to find the standing wave ratios in gamma. Okay, so I stop here.